and it's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, and it's live. Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show coming to you live on the World Wide Web, in tune on Facebook and on YouTube. Don't forget, we got a YouTube channel. All of you people that you might have some friends that don't have Facebook, get them signed up on the Dirt Road Sports YouTube channel. They can watch the show every Saturday night on the comfort of their own home television if they have a smart TV on YouTube. And guys, we want to welcome you tonight. It is almost said October. It is August the 6th, 2022. And we are glad you've chosen to join with us tonight. If we do us a favor, if you're watching on Facebook right now, just go over and hit the like button and hit the share button. And so our broadcast is shared on your page. That way everybody knows that you're a fan of Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show, and it helps get our message out to an even broader audience. And we want to just tell you thank you for inviting us into your homes, your automobiles, your boats, your planes, your motorcycles, wherever you may be watching us or listening to us tonight. We just want to tell you thank you, thank you, thank you, and we appreciate you joining us. And Floyd, it looks like right now it might just be me and you tonight. Let everybody know Charlie is under the weather, not feeling well at all today. Doesn't sound good either. So you need to keep Charlie Platt in your prayers. He is sick, and that's kind of unusual for him. Charlie don't get sick a whole lot. But he called today and said he wouldn't be able to be on the air. And Queasel is planning to join us, but he is having internet connectivity problems. There's not enough juice being piped into his house to get all of him out to the World Wide Web. Isn't that correct, Floyd?
Because what he told us a while ago, he was coming in loud and clear to me and you, but then he said he couldn't. He said we was out of sync with our mouth and with our words that was coming out of our mouth, that we were not synchronized, and we need to be synchronized.
That's not the first time that I don't think that's the first time that I've ever been told that I've been out of sync.
Out of sync, yeah, with what comes out of your mouth and with your lips moving, yeah. Marvin, another thing you might want to mention about folks, and I'd give them a shout out tonight. Them folks is driving them tractors around out here, driving them, spraying them cotton and spraying them peanuts, and they out there on them irrigation, working on them irrigation systems out there in the old truck out there trying to get them things going. But we got a pretty good little shower of rain here in town this afternoon. I'm checking my gauge on Flamingo Boulevard, 410 is what we got. Now, me and Nadine had motored. You ever heard that before? That's one of them old saying. We had motored up to Albany. We had motored to Albany as if we were motoring back home out there around Hoggett's Mill and Cheever Town. And that man, they look like they got a big rain. I know the gauge half full. Now, there's any of you folks out there that's got any rain update y'all want to send us, text it in there to us on the show, and let's give a report. We want to hear from y'all out there.
If you're watching on Facebook, you can put it on our chat or either just text it to me there on that number there. Let us know. We'd like to know how much rain you got today all over the tri-state area. I know we had a severe weather warning earlier in the day, but we would like to know what kind of rain we had all over. Queasel said they had a lightning strike somewhere near, and there's a problem with the internet, and he's working on it. And if he can get on, he will be on. If not, he won't. So that was pretty simple. I about as best as I can say that Queasel will try to be here if he can. But anyway, we want to tell you again, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Do keep Charlie in your prayers. He is sick. Queasel's doing good though. Just got some internet trouble. We said some people here saying they don't have sound on YouTube. Most everybody here I hear does have it, so I would suggest maybe trying to log out and log back in. But guys, we're coming to you live tonight, I guess right now from our two studios, one in Enterprise, Georgia, and the other at 100% Flamingo Boulevard, Georgia, live all across the great nation, all across this nation, and in foreign countries where they will allow us, and we are legal. All 57 states, and even into Baker County, Georgia. And guys, if you want to catch us on a rerun, Cheever Town too. Guys, we will be on rerun this week. We will be on rerun. We will be on Thursday night at 9 o'clock. We will be following Liz Cheney's children's special entitled All You Ever Wanted to Know About Rhinos. That's a Liz Cheney special. All you ever wanted to know about rhinos, and she'll be doing a children's special on that. Hopefully, y'all got that. But anyway, we're also on the big screen tonight. Very, 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 very first time ever. Very first time ever on the 75-inch screen. Wendell's drive-through wedding chapel, watermelon stand, weed eater repair, windmill blade sharpening, and wild turkey jerky in Wadley, Georgia.
Come
Very,
on, Wendell.
very
Nobody named
Wendell,
you young as Wendell anymore. Wendell must
yep,
be
very
old. He must be a senior citizen.
Yeah, Wendell's on up in age. We sold that sponsorship to him this week, and he put us on the big screen. Give him one more big shout out. That's Wendell's Drive-Through Wedding Chapel, watermelon stand, weed eater repair, windmill blade sharpening, and wild turkey jerky in Wadley, Georgia. Man, we are so thankful to be able to have him tonight. I don't think that's the first time we've ever been on a screen in Wadley. I don't know of any
I don't
other
know where
time.
Wadley is. I don't think I've ever been in Wadley. I've been through there. I don't think I've ever been. Do you know where Wadley is?
I know the general direction, but not. I think I've been through it before.
You know proximity, in other words. Yeah, but I don't know. If anybody's
Mike,
listening in Wadley, y'all let us know if y'all listening in Wadley. Marvin, I ain't saying no text messages here on the side of the screen here. Do you see anybody chiming in on us?
There we go. Now we will. I had it turned off.
Yeah. We was out of sync on that.
Yeah, I got kind of out of sync, but I saw it. There you go. See, there we go. Oh man, look,
Mexico
Beach. I don't know if Micah Conley's there or not, but he said tuning in, and it's 7:06 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What's that old song?
Yeah,
Living
I think
on.
that may be where he's at in Tulsa. Yeah. Look at him. You were mentioning a while ago. I won't bring us up while you're talking about it. Queasel there talking about the lightning strike. Was messing with his computer and everything. I read some report about that. It's global warming. You know, the lightning struck up there right off from the White House and killed 3 people. Yeah, killed 3 people instantaneously, right there, if you will. And they attribute it to global warming. Well, I guess that's SUVs and the cow filating and all that. That's but thinking back, I've read about this is in the Bible where the lightning crashed and the thunder roared, and seems like pretty good ways back in though. And I wonder what kind of SUVs they driving back then in biblical times. Yeah, but lightning now is a result of global warming.
Well, now you got to remember there was a lot of carbon from camel flatulence that caused a lot of a lot of carbon footprint that could have
caused. And climate. What was it? Climate change, and it's like
climate.
I think it's talking about now. It's a climate change disaster. So
that's it.
Y'all people, y'all watch out for that lightning because there's no redemption from the lightning strike.
That's right.
Some bad stuff, lightning.
Florida, I guess you see over there, Leanne Davis Hudgens says she taught her first year of school in Wadley, Georgia. It's in Jefferson County, up near Swainsboro and Louisville, Georgia, or Louisville.
Way over on the East Coast. Okay, I know right where you at. And I probably done an auction that one time. I just can't remember it, but I remember. Yeah, I know where Swainsboro and Louisville is, and Metter and all back up in that area. Back up in there. Yeah,
Jordan.
Garth Brooks on so Garth knows all about it.
Jordan Rowland said they got 7 tents on Flamingo Boulevard. Charles Mercer said he hadn't checked his gauge, but it flooded, so we don't know how much that is. Carolyn Worsley, no rain, but plenty of thunder. Charles Mercer said here, Paul Road this afternoon got around 1 to 2 inches, I think he said here. I'm trying to see where some more are here. I don't see any more reports. If you got some rain, we want to know about it so we can let everybody know who's been paying the preacher and who hadn't, and who's been getting the rain and who has not. Guys, again, want to tell you that we want to let y'all know that Charlie is sick tonight. So please pray for Charlie. He is sick and needs our prayers. I don't know, he got some kind of bug, but do want to do this to give a shout out to him today. Today's his 67th birthday. Old Charlie Platt is 67 years young today, and he's sick on his birthday. So we want to give a big shout out to him, and y'all all remember him in your thoughts and prayers. And if you get a chance, shoot him a message over on Facebook and let him know happy 67th birthday to the wrestling king and the TV king, Charlie Platt. One of the partners of the Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. It is his birthday today, and we want to send a big shout out to him, and I hope he gets to feeling better. Do remind you, Queasel is fine. He's doing a lot better, but he's just having internet troubles tonight is the reason that he is not joining us tonight. He is having internet troubles. But, guys, we're glad y'all are joining us. Man, y'all are joining us from all over the tri-state area, all over the United States. And we are glad that you are joining us tonight. We've had a great week this week. Hope you've had a good week. Floyd, what's been going on in your world?
Well, I've been doing a little appraisal work. I've been getting out and about. I've been working mostly morning part of the day. It gets so hot out there. It's so oppressively hot out there in the late afternoons. In mid-afternoon, late afternoon, I'm usually at 95 degrees on the thermometer. So the citizens don't do well in like that. But I've been doing a little bit of work. Me and they've been hanging around the house here pretty close. We went out to eat supper last night at a new place that we have just, and we were very impressed with it. I'm gonna give them a little shout out. If that's okay.
Yeah,
good place to go eat was up, and my friend, my old buddy Wayne Gucci, he joined us up there. He had told me about places in Blakely, Georgia, called John's and Grill, and we ate there. And the ambiance was outstanding, and the food was outstanding, and the service was outstanding. But we had a good to eat out. I can't tell you, I can't eat at a different place. The Longhorn Steakhouse, the Cracker Barrel, and that kind of stuff. But we enjoyed that. Got home before left about 5 o'clock. Went up there to eat a little bit, and John Mosley, Mr. Catman, John Mosley, trying to recall some old things, about some of the old auctions that we used to do and all that. And I couldn't remember about what he was talking about. But anyway, he made a show, but had a good time. I recommend it if y'all want to go up there. They ain't paying me to say this. I just like the place.
Yeah, we lost Floyd there. He must be having internet trouble too. Weasel, how about it? You able to join us?
I am, man. I got it fixed. I got it fixed. It was a simple fix. You know what I had to do?
What'd you have to do?
I had to go out and climb the pole like Oliver Wendell Douglas does on Green Acres, and had to go up there and hook into the wire. I got it hooked into the wire now. I'm ready to go. I can talk.
Well, Floyd was cutting in and out, and I watched his signal. He was steadily deteriorating in his signal. It gives me what y'all signal are, but yeah, we got Floyd. Hopefully, maybe we got you back clear now.
Yes, we got Floyd breaking up, but you're clear, Marvin. Glad to see you clear. Yeah. We can't all get together. It seems like we all, and I tell you what, I'm gonna tell you what it is. I tell you exactly what it is. It's they watching us. The truth police. They watching us, and they messing us because I remember long ago I was in my doctor. Anybody's got one of these things right here. If you got one of them right there, they know what you're doing, and then they know everything that goes on about it. And anyway, I was in a doctor's office not long ago. I was sitting in there, just a regular checkup deal. Come in there, took my blood pressure. They won't never tell you what your blood pressure is. They won't never tell you. You have to ask them. So anyway, she took my blood pressure and wrote something down. I said, "What's my blood pressure?" Remember this number, 130/80. That was my blood pressure. That's probably high. I don't know, but hey, I'm a senior citizen. I'm out of shape. I'm overweight. So, take all that into consideration. I don't want to hear nobody out there giving me medical advice on this. I got a doctor I go to for medical advice. I don't need nobody out there watching that now to give me medical advice from afar. So anyway, that was my blood pressure. So anyway, she left and went out of the room. So anyway, I got my phone, my iPhone right here. You see them, you see them all over. They folks walk all over with them. They walk talking to them like this, and they walking and talking. A lot of them. Anyway, I have my iPhone like that. I Googled. What was that number I just told y'all a while ago? Y'all, was y'all
130 over 80.
Okay, remember that. I get my phone, I Google it, and I put, here's what I type in, BP. Guess what popped up right behind BP? 130 over 80. They listing in while I was in the doctor's office. You know what I was saying? They know what you're thinking, man. That thing right there, it can read your. It's a spy machine.
Yeah.
They were sitting in there the other night looking at something on TV, and and I went to my phone. I can't even remember what it was, but I typed one letter in. And it showed me what we were watching out on TV. Peggy, for your shame, said, what was the name? So I was bringing up on name of it was Johnny's Bar and Grill and Restaurant in Blakely, Georgia. It's on 62. They said the old Shrine Club out there. If any of y'all remember the old Shrine Club in Blakely, nice place. You'll enjoy it. It's a good place to go, Miss Peggy. So y'all go up there and eat something. But anyway, I'm just telling y'all about the cell phone deal here. So everything you say, they know what you're saying. So that's what they're doing. They're pranking with us. They see for some reason or other, they think we're a danger, to society, and they're pranking with us.
Do you don't think they gather? You don't think they gather on Saturday nights in Martha's Vineyard to watch us?
They you got some up there that they listen in on the headset. No, these folks ain't in Martha's Vineyard. They in a basement somewhere. They in a sub basement somewhere, and they still got their pajamas and the house coat on, and they got that keyboard over there. Oh man, they look at him what Floyd B. Lloyd said.
I guarantee you they ain't watching as they're listening to it, because they'd have done this number here if they had it. They'd have done cut us. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm ready to start a movement, and the Dirt Road Sports ought to be the one to start it. Throw these phones away and go back and get that little old flip phone where all you can do is
flip phone. That's all you need. That's all you need.
That's all. I've decided that's what I want. I just want me a flip phone. I want to get rid of the iPhone and the U phone and the day phone and all that. Get rid of all that mess. And if you can't get me on the telephone, call. If you need to talk to me, I'll tell you how to get to my house. I don't need all that other stuff.
That's right. Yeah, you come to my house. I'll tell you. They're calling me. They're calling me. It's time for me to renew. Time for me to update, upgrade.
Marvin, you want to get in on that? You want to get in on the flip phone business?
Yeah, what I was going to tell you, I got a picture. Harry Warren sent me this picture Wednesday night, took from a flip phone. If you can make it out, it was him and Connolly went fishing and caught. You can tell that's fish, but it's kind of granulated. I don't know if that was operator error on Warren's part, or if it was the new phone he got. But that was what it came out to be right there.
That's fish.
It still makes the statement. It makes the statement they caught a heap of fish.
Yeah, it didn't. I guess what he was doing, he put that granulated in there so it didn't look like they was bragging or whatever.
No, they bragging. Hey, he's 100% bragging right there. You don't take a picture like that and send it to nobody unless you're bragging about it.
Yeah. Well, he said he wanted to help us out because he knew we had been there with the grease. He was wanting us to. He knew last week we were asking for pictures and news items and all that, and he thought that was a newsworthy item last week.
Who was that standing up at the table?
I don't know if it's Harry or Conley.
Conley who?
I think it was I don't think it was Micah Conley. It was what was it Conley mean?
No, that's Micah Conley's daddy, but that ain't Micah Conley.
Yeah. What's Micah Conley's daddy's name?
I don't know, but that ain't him. That ain't Micah Conley. So you have to move on. Move on. There's not enough time on this. This is immaterial and irrelevant.
You ask. I was referencing on quality.
Yeah. Where'd the fish? If you got the Reverend's number, why don't y'all call him and tell him? What's wrong with him?
I didn't talk to him. I don't know. I'm worried.
He's famous, but he won't show up. And it's like about my landscaping professional. You know, I asked my landscaping professional. I'll ask him a question, but he don't answer. He do not ask him a question, answer a question. But anyway, he'll say something else, but it won't be that question. But he ain't been telling me about the fishing reverend bringing him no fish lately, or Hubert Stafford bringing him no fish lately.
I don't think he's been lately.
Jimmy Hope bringing him no fish lately. I don't think he's been lately. Well, he need to go. The weather's been good. He could go.
FYI, that was Mike Conley, not Micah Conley.
Thank you.
Mike Conley.
Thank you for clarifying that.
I wanted to clarify.
See, that's how folks. See, that's how folks. Oh, look at that picture. Look at that. That's Michael Conley. He's down there. Man, he's supposed to be running at the bank. He's down there fishing with Harry Warren. See, you got to be careful with you. I don't know what you're talking about, man. You throw a picture up, and you better have.
Because I stay in trouble enough. Yeah, I stay in trouble enough.
You can get overstep. You hear me, Queen? He overstep his bounds.
I hear you talking. Get out there. I just got my mind. See, I'm still focusing on trying to go fishing. You know, I ain't been fishing. I got out there today, and before I got sick, I took the fuel pump off of my wife's boat, and I got my cousin down there in Bainbridge, Terry, to order me a part. I need to rebuild the fuel pump, so I got him to order it for me, and I just got around today to, you know, so I felt like going, so I went out there today and got it, and I got out there this evening while it was raining and pulled me up a chair and spread me out a towel on the table and rebuilt my fuel pump, or he built the fuel pump on her boat, and I got to get it put on maybe in a while, and next week or something, and doctor's supposed to turn me loose next week to start doing a little more normal stuff, and I'm hoping I'm going to get where I can go fishing. I ain't been.
My boat. We want some evidence. When you go, we want to see some evidence.
My fishing boat ain't been in the water this year. Now we've been on her yacht, on that pontoon boat, but my boat
we ain't been in your boat.
My boat ain't been in the water this year, and I am ready to go. Man, I want to go so bad.
When's the last time you fishing, Marvin?
Me?
Marvin, when's the last time you fishing?
Let me think. Bill Clinton was probably still in
You in Alaska?
No. I'd like to, but it was
you hit Floyd.
Floyd, I didn't see it, but now I heard that him and the fishing reverend went fishing together one day down there on Lake Seminole, and the fishing reverend was sitting up in the front of the boat, and he was catching fish, and for long, Marvin got mad. Marvin got up there to sit up in the front of the boat with him, and the boat wound up sitting like it's him, and there was water coming in the front of the boat. That might be why the reverend ain't been fishing lately. Now I don't know that none of that's true, but I had a deacon that won't lie, but on 6 days tell me that.
Well, I wish that call in at least folks is interested in him. That he has some good stories. He always told the truth. Always has some pictures to back it up. But he just throws us away.
He get to be a legend.
All right, Quizzle, we got a question that's been posed by one of our viewers here, and he said, talking to some of my older timber buddies that used to stay in Albany when working on company lands, here was the question posed. Did Floyd ever visit the club Bananas in Albany?
I don't even know
I'm
what that
place is. I went to
the Plantation Club.
I don't think I ever witnessed Floyd do anything wrong.
Take up for me. They say them folks are from Alabama over there. I
ain't never heard of no Club Bananas.
They out of the jurisdiction.
I ain't never heard no Club Bananas. Is you, Floyd?
I heard of Plantation. That used to be you had to go to you had to get you a special number to get in the Plantation Club. It was reservation only.
We have some disputing evidence up here.
Well, you got anybody. What about going to a commercial, Marvin? You need to get on with a commercial.
Because just above that, Rojo said, "Yes, you did."
I know. They folks know more about my business than I do.
So you think I need to go to a commercial? Hey, I will. Look right here. Queasel. That's what Rojo had for supper tonight. What
Man,
all this?
makes you hungry.
We come by that and saw her when she was getting ready to cook. We stopped there on our way back home when we was motoring back home from home, and she was telling us what all she was gonna have. She threw that together pretty quick there too. Me and Nate ain't a picture of it. And look at that cornbread. Look at that cornbread.
That's that Lacey cornbread. That's fit to eat right there.
Oh, yeah. It was my cousin Brian Wales. He done got him some fish cooked up there. It looks like, I don't know if that looks like maybe some swamp gravy with a bunch of
a little bit of swamp gravy there with it.
Yeah.
God, I can't see it. Put him up there. Boy, look at them peas. That Rojo's got some pretty peas.
Yeah. Man, we got on.
I love me good to eat.
Eating good all over the viewers' audience tonight. Eating good. Here, look. Hey, look right here. Got one chimed in now. Without a doubt, Charlie ain't too sick to watch because he said Floyd.
He ain't too sick to prod.
Yeah,
stir something. He want to stir something. Hey, Marvin, has Charlie got any whale blood in him?
I think he might. I don't know. You
know,
I done put it up one time. You wasn't with us. Today's his birthday. He's 67 years old.
Well, happy birthday, Charlie.
He is 67.
Happy birthday. 67 years old. I can remember when that was old. Yeah. Ain't old no more.
No, that ain't old, boys. That ain't old at all. Oh, no. I know a lot of young, good-looking folks, 67, 68 years old. Sure do now. They still holding up good.
Well, I reckon y'all all feeling better now since the Democrats have done voted, to get the bill rolling and fit to take all the money we got and put 8,750 IRS agents out there.
87,000.
Yeah, that's a lot.
They only have 75,000 now, and they're going to add 87 more thousand.
Yeah.
Double it up.
Yeah.
Double it up. Yes, sir. They coming, boys. They coming for what you got. I promise you. They coming for you. They coming. If you got it, they're going to get it.
They done almost got it.
They ain't got no choice. They ain't got no choice. They go, folks can't work and make a living, pay the house payment, pay the car payment, buy food, buy clothes and all that stuff.
What you can pay for.
That's right.
It's
they was going after the billionaires. I don't know. I think there's about 1,000 billionaires, maybe less, maybe 600-700 billionaires in the United States. They're going to hire 80,000 IRS agents over.
Let me tell you something.
To get them.
You didn't get to be no billionaire by being stupid. You know all the rules around all the tax stuff. Yeah. They ain't gonna touch them. We the one gonna pay the taxes.
That's it. They exempt, man. Hey, do you reckon how big of checks they write to the Democrat Party every year? Them billionaires. You just reckon how big of checks they write to congressmen and senators, and how many lake houses they buy for them, put them in so they'll keep them off their back. They ain't gonna pay no taxes.
I about done decided that you cannot be a Christian and vote for a Democrat.
Ain't no way.
You can't do it.
You can't do it.
You cannot do it.
You have no conscience. Your conscience.
I heard that little weak argument they had that day when they talked about abortion. Well, God gave us free will. No, God gave you free will. Decide where you want to go to heaven or hell. That's where He gave you free will. Now, when you go to playing God, that ain't none of your business. They better get that. They better get that stuff straight. No, I'm about sick of it. I tell you.
He also said that deal in there about those that hurt the smallest among
children.
Said you
that's right.
Yeah, children. You better tie a mill around your neck, throw you into the deepest part of the ocean.
That's right.
So
they don't remember that though.
Go ahead, keep going.
They don't remember none of that. And all this here stuff, listen to me. All this here stuff they talking about, all these abortions. I tell you how to live by the Bible. Quit having sex. That's what causes abortion. You want to stop abortions? Quit jumping into bed together every time you see one another. Do what the Bible says. The Bible says sex is reserved for marriage. It's enjoyment between a man and a woman. That's what it's once they become together. You want to stop it. That's just like everything else. Everybody wants to enjoy all the fruit without having to pay for none of the prices.
They don't want to pay. They don't want to tend to the vineyard, but they won't do.
It's
somebody bring them the fruit.
It's just a crying shame. Since I've been under the weather a little bit, I've been having to watch more television than I really want to watch. I'm kidding about watching television, but it's the commercials. Them commercials for them workouts and them bicycles that you buy. You see how they dress up on that thing. It ain't right. And then some of the stuff that they teaching our children in school, and ain't nothing we can do to stop it.
But everybody ain't smart enough to homeschool their children. They're not smart. No. They're not smart as their children are, and they can't homeschool them. And because a lot of them, they got to get up and go to work every day. Mom and daddy, you got to get up and go to work. They can't homeschool their kids, and the kids go to school, and they're fed this line of stuff. It's going to cause them more harm than anything else. It's just propaganda. When I went to school, I don't know how y'all went to school, but when I went to school, you learned. You learned. If you didn't learn, you failed. And if you didn't pay attention in class, and you were causing trouble in class, you get the CDO bridge smoked right then, or either when the class was over with. Sometimes it's right then.
And then when you got back, and then when you got home, if Mama found out about it.
Yeah. But it's all that's different, man. Hey, we living in new times, living in different times, man. Different world.
Yeah, but how do we keep letting it happen?
You can't. We do.
How we keep letting it happen?
Well,
I don't know.
If November, if we don't pull through in November, we may lose this great nation.
That's it. That's the last hope. If we don't, and they already gearing it up. They already got the monkeypox coming now. They got it monkeypox, and I'm not scared of the monkeypox. I'm not going to be running from the monkeypox. But they got it. That's the next big disaster that's coming down the line is the monkeypox, and they're gonna get it. Everybody want to get everybody get them vaccinated and inoculated and all, but I ain't taking no monkeypox shot. I ain't taking it.
No, I ain't planning on falling in that category. I tell you what,
I ain't gonna run with that group.
All you folks what's listening to us that lives in the state of Georgia, let me tell you what, you better get out and vote. We in the fight of our life, just like the nation is. We let me tell you something. You better do everything you can do to put Brian Kemp back in as governor. You better find and call everybody you know.
It's seen with the ag secretary,
the
ag commissioner in the state of Georgia. You take a look at the two that's running. Take a look at the two that's running for ag commissioner.
Tyler Harper, the good man ever was.
Gary Platt, he thought he was going to be senator. He could have been there from now on if he'd have just stayed there. But no, he won't. And that's what the problem with me, Queasel and Marvin. They always have these delusions of grandeur. They all of them think that they can be the president of the United States. And being where they are, and there's one thing I can say about old Tommy Irvin. He stayed there. He was ag commissioner. He stayed the ag commissioner when he didn't even know where he was at. They still voted him in to be the ag commissioner. But he had people under him. He'd been there long enough. He had established that office that they knew how to run the ag commission office. But let me tell you, it ain't just it is not just the governor. It ain't just a senator or congressman. It's district attorneys. It's secretary of states, ag commissioners, and they'll take that. Man, if they get a hold of the Georgia ag commissioner, there ain't no telling what's coming to pipe.
I think Tyler Harper is going to run too strong. He is a good guy. I've been knowing him a long time.
I understand all that. I know it.
I think he's going to be okay. But you're right. The Democrat Georgia is slowly. You can say what you want to. They bringing these people in here. We losing. The conservatives in Georgia is losing. If we ain't done lost, I don't know.
They get so much money too that comes in. They get so much money from the New York liberals and the California liberals, that just tons of money flooding in here, and they no telling how much money George Soros put in Stacey Abrams' coffer.
That's how Warnock has built his campaign chest near about solely. I think about 85% of his campaigns has come from California and New York, the money that he's raised. Not even from in-state, not even inside the state of Georgia. Now, Herschel's, the 99% of it has come from in Georgia, but Warnock's has come from the liberal media. I don't know if y'all saw this also. The California governor, Gavin Newsom, took out articles encouraging the movie industry to move out of Georgia and Oklahoma and move back to California because of our stance on moral issues like abortion, and said that they can get out there. That's what I said. Get out.
Let them move. Listen, let me tell you something. Anybody don't like the way we do things in Georgia? Anybody don't like the way we do things in Georgia? Delta's ready when they are. Let them go.
They're not going to leave. They want to bring it with them. And if they move here from California or New York, they bring in that ideology with them. They're not coming down here to do it. They're coming down here to infiltrate us, just like they've been infiltrating everybody else that's decent.
Let me ask this, okay? All right, here's the thing I don't understand. A lot of these people are leaving California and wherever else because they don't like the political climate. They don't like what the political climate has created, all the crime and all that. But they want to move to a state like Georgia and bring their values and vote their values here. They don't understand they're going to create the same environment that they created in California if we're not careful.
That's exactly what's going to happen. They don't think like that. They do not. They don't think they're the problem. They do not think they're the problem. But you talk about California and New York. I was just reading something on the line before we went on there a while ago. There's 10 criminals in New York, 10 that have committed over 500 crimes, and they all are walking the streets. There was one story about one. He committed 3 bank robberies and got caught in 3 days in New York City. He'd rob a bank and they'd catch him. He'd go before the judge. The judge would turn him out. No bail. They have no bail. No bail in New York. Whatever you want to do, there's no bail. For bank robbery. Turned him out. Next day, robbed another bank. They caught him. Went before a judge. Turned him out. He just tells the judge, "Oh yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there for my hearing." The third day, robbed another bank, and they caught him. Same thing. Turned him out. Who knows where he's at now? But that's it. There was 10 criminals in New York committed over 500 crimes. One of them had committed 101 crimes and walking the streets. That's New York. But they vote these people in. They voted the mayor in. They voted the district attorney in. They vote them in.
They vote them in. Then they sit back and whine about what they're doing. I don't understand it. I don't.
No, you can't. Accessible people cannot comprehend it.
It's the craziest thing I've ever heard of. Guys, it's time now for Southern Hissy Fits. Trivia time. Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. Southern Hissy Fits, 109 West College Street in Colquitt, Georgia. Embroideries, t-shirts, tumblers, gifts, and more. They're the sponsor of the Charlie Platt and Dirt Road Sports Show Trivia Time. And the winner of tonight's trivia contest will win an enamel campfire mug with the Charlie Platt and Dirt Road Sports Show logo on it. Just need you to text the correct answer and your name to 229-254-5060. We do ask if you've won previously in the last month to 2 months that we've been doing this. Give somebody else a chance. We want to kind of spread these mugs out. Give a big shout out to Miss Peggy Chambers, our winner last week of the Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. Miss Peggy will be delivering that mug to you later this week. She had to get some more made, and you'll be getting that. And then whoever wins this one, you don't have to fail for you. What? What'd you say there, Floyd?
I said, uh-oh.
We'll get it delivered to her, though. We need the correct answer texted to 229-254-5060. It is Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show Trivia Time, brought to us by Southern Hissy Fits. And here's the question tonight. Our trivia question. What was Dorothy's last name in the movie The Wonderful Wizard of Oz? What was the last name of Dorothy in the movie The Wonderful Wizard of Oz? We're looking for the correct answer. Texted with your name so we know who to give credit to. What was the name of Dorothy in the movie Wizard of Oz? And we got a winner here. The very first one was, the winner here is Kenneth Spooner from over in Alabama, and that is Gale. The last name was Gale. Had one right behind him. Mr. Jeff Cox was right in behind him with Gale, but it was Dorothy Gale. Dorothy Gale was the correct answer tonight, and Kenneth Spooner from over in Alabama is our winner. Kenneth, if you will text me your address, we'll get that dropped in the mail to you next week. Campfire mug with Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports logo. And we want to give a big shout out to Southern Hissy Fits for being our sponsor of the trivia time here on Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show.
I thought Dorothy Gale was a middle name. I thought her name was Dorothy Gale Wells is what I thought it was.
No.
But I reckon
I ain't never. Yeah, you know, I ain't never watched that movie.
All right, here we go. I'll give you the story. Dorothy Gale is a fictional character created by American author L. Frank Baum as the protagonist in many of his Oz novels. She first appears in Baum's classic 1900 children's novel, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, and appears in most of its sequels.
I never did watch that movie.
The only one I know was Elvira Gulch. I remember her. She scared me to death. Man, that was a scary thing. But that's the only one I know who the last name was. But that's good. I congratulate you. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, we appreciate all of y'all texts. Had several texts the right answer, but give a big shout out to Mr. Kenneth Spooner in Taylor, Alabama, our winner tonight.
They didn't even have to think about that, Marvin. That was an easy one there. We got to come up. I don't know where you getting that from, but we got to come up with harder questions than that, Marvin.
I understand.
Let's throw some Bible trivia out there, Marvin. See what they know about the Bible.
No, that's a good one. Next week we'll have some
Bible. Yeah, do that.
Let's do some Bible trivia.
Yeah,
let's get them in a book. They need to be in.
Throw some Bible trivia
out. But on that.
Yeah, well, Tony Clay said he was a little slow like we are, and he didn't get it on time tonight. But Kenneth Spooner, we appreciate you watching from Taylor, Alabama. Hope you'll drink you some good coffee out of that mug. We'll get it put in the mail to you next week. And appreciate all of you.
Marvin, ask them a Bible question next week. I got one for you. Some of these Baptists and Pentecostals and Free Will Baptists and all, ask them about how in biblical times did the disciples keep their grape juice from spoiling? What kind of refrigeration did they use? Keep the grape juice from fermenting.
Tony Clay said, yeah, he's ready to do some Bible trivia.
Come on with it. Glory.
Yeah, all right, Tony Clay, that's a good one for you to go ahead and answer. How did the disciples keep the grape juice refrigerated to keep it from fermenting?
Yeah, disciples. Peter, keep that grape juice cool. When they were walking across the burning sands. Burning sands, I know I've been there. I know how hard it get over that.
Only you, Floyd.
Oh,
well, boy, here we go. We got to go to this right here. It's that time once again. Time for Floyd's Short Lists and More. Brought to you by Berry Hill Auctioneers. Berry Hill Auctioneers, our sponsor in exclusivity and perpetuity of the great, the world famous Floyd's Short Lists and More. And now, please make welcome Mr. Floyd B. Lloyd.
All right, we got to show. Y'all know what the short list is. Not many people on the list what the short list means. So actually, it's y'all can figure it out. The short list means the short list. Ain't many names on it. We're going to start out with him. We're going to go ahead and get started pretty good right here on this one. Pentecostal preachers that know the words to the song Wooly Bully. I know one who knows it. I bet you I know one who knows. I bet you one's going to chime in and say, yeah, I know that one.
I bet he knows how to dance to it, too.
He knows how to do the Wooly Bully. All right, here we go. What about Pentecostal women that don't like Elvis Presley? He can sing those gospel songs. He can sing those gospel songs so much. Oh, it just moves my spirit when Elvis sings those gospel
Hey,
songs.
you remember what Louis Grizzard said about Elvis, don't you?
What did he say?
He said he might have shook his pelvis, but at least he didn't show it to nobody.
He did. That's right. He didn't show his pelvis to nobody. He moved. It's all he done. Here we go. Pentecostal preachers that go to Zumba classes.
Now, you'd be ashamed if Tony Clay went to Zumba, wouldn't you, if he come in and said, I go to
I want to see if you're in your, what about in your Zumba shoes? Don't they have special suit shoes they can do Zumba in? Here's one right here. Men's wigs that look real. Any hear that has got your toupee on? Listen to me. Take this thing off. It ain't working. You ain't moving nobody.
And let's go ahead and get that out. We talked about this last week. Charlie Platt does not wear a wig.
Charlie don't wear. We got gray hair in his head. 67 years old and they got a gray hair in his head. So
that's from all that hard work he's doing.
Here's one of men's hair coloring that looks normal. Did y'all remember seeing Rudy Giuliani that day? He was giving the press conference up there, that hair dye running down his jaw.
What about Pencil Johnson?
Didn't heat up in there. See, they got it. They knew he had all that old hair color on his hair. He come back giving that speech, kept talking about this, talking about that. I'm gonna dye hair down his jaw right there. They done turned that heat up in there. They knew what it was going. They knew what they were doing. You can't. Hey man, you can't beat them. Anyway, that's a whole other story right there. Here one right here, 10-year-olds in America that don't have their own email, cell phone, and iPad. This is 10-year-olds now. It was United States congressmen and senators that don't get rich while in office. Name one that just broke. Name a congressman and a United States congressman and a United States senator that's broke. Huh? Come on. Bring how they made that money. I mean, they got them a pretty good salary, but how do they make money?
Hey, Floyd, interesting fact. Guess what? This week, the Democratic strategist released. Do you know who they think would be the most likely best candidate to take on the Democratic if Joe Biden doesn't run?
Probably Pete Buttigieg.
No, sir.
Which
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Democrat socialist. She's proud of it. She wants to take everything you got and work for and give it to somebody who ain't never hit a lick in their life.
One of the top Democratic strategists in the nation said that's who they needed to put on the ticket.
Lord help us. Well, hey, don't nothing surprise me no more. It don't surprise me no more. Let me see. Yeah, here's one right here for y'all. Some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. We kind of lighten it up a little bit here. Cheap and easy ways to maintain a swimming pool. You want to tell us about that one, Queasy?
No, sir.
Yeah, you want to talk about it? Move on. Move forward.
No. Best thing for a swimming pool is a dump truck.
It was right here. Living people that have smoked more crack and snorted more cocaine than Hunter Biden. It's the living people I'm talking about. Now, y'all know, yeah. And I know some that's done a pretty good bit, but they died. Yeah, here's one right here. This is an old one. I'm gonna go back to. I'm gonna go back to a couple of old ones here. I'm kind of having a writer's block today. Times that socialist Bernie Sanders from Vermont that they keep electing as senator from up there, who never has had a job in his life, who was so lazy he got thrown out of a hippie commune because he was too lazy to do anything. He's a United States senator from Vermont. So thank you, anybody who is living in Vermont or got any kinfolks in Vermont. Thank you for sending that fool to be a senator. Here's what it say. Here's what I'm gonna say right here. Raises times that socialist Bernie Sanders has voted against congressional pay raises. He's a socialist. How many times he's voted against a congressional pay raise? That's including himself. All you socialists out there, if you're a Democrat, you got to be a socialist because that's what they believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Mormons, people who think Mitt Romney is relevant. Other than Mormons. I want to, that's all I got on my show. We got a few minutes here, Marvin. I just want to tell a story.
We got a few.
Tell a story, if I may.
Go ahead.
If I thought about it today. A name came up today, but back that I've known a long time. The name was Gleaton, and anyway, was having a discussion. This lady has written this book, and her middle name was Gleaton. And anyway, we said, yeah, got to be kin to Freddie Gleaton or Jerry Gleaton from Arlington, Georgia. That's the only Gleaton I know of up there. But anyway, Gleaton. I thought about Freddie Gleaton, and I thought about a story he told me one time. Y'all remember when we had the tractorcade in the 1977?
Oh, yeah. I remember it well.
America, we went on strike, went to Plains, Atlanta, and then a crew went to Washington, D.C., and I couldn't go to Washington, D.C. because I was piled up in a hospital. Me and my brother-in-law had turned a pickup truck over about 3 times end over end, and I had wound up in the hospital for about 21 days, so I couldn't go to Washington, D.C. with them, but a lot of them went. A lot of farmers from South Georgia and Southeast Alabama, North Florida, they went to Washington to make a statement, and they ain't never been so many Stetson hats and Tony Lama boots sold in South Georgia and Southeast Alabama, North Florida, as was sold prior to all the broke farmers going to Washington to protest. They had them Stetson hats. I mean, yeah, they had the Stetson hats, had the bolo ties and belt buckles and Tony Lama boots, and deuce and a quarter, brand new deuce and a quarter, 225 Electra Buicks, 98 Oldsmobiles, Cadillac Fleetwood Bronze, load up and went to Washington to meet with the congressman and meet with the people who were the power players up there. So they were going to get all this farming deal changed, and we were all going to make money farming. So there was a crew. Freddie was telling me about a crew that he was with up there. And I think they was in one of the Cadillac Broganhams, and what you call them, Brom Cadillac,
Brohams.
Long Broham. I think they was in 4-door, and they was cruising around. They were going from one congressman's office to the next with their Stetson hats and their Tony Lama boots, all that. They was going in there telling them. Some congressman and I'd have been with them. Hey, I'd have been right there if I'd have been able, but no, I was in a body cast at that time, so I couldn't go. But anyway, I'd have been with them. I'd have had me a Stetson hat and a belt buckle and boots and the whole deal. I'd have had it all. But anyway, they were going and they was in that Cadillac Broganham. They were cruising around going from one senator and congressman's office and in the meantime, they'd stop off at a bar and grill, and get them some libations. Anyway, they had them, because they had libations in the car. Friends, they were cruising along there. There was one sitting in the back right seat back there. They had them several of them fifth bottles, rolling around down there. And they had them some Tupperware glasses. Y'all know the Tupperware glass, had them some ice, had them a cool ice. They was mixing them a little eye opener, if you will, riding around in the Cadillac Brogan. One of them he reached in the pocket of his coat and he pulled out a can of potted meat. Y'all following me now? You folks that's up there in Martha's Vineyard, y'all probably ain't gonna know what potted meat is, but you in Bascom, Florida, Hintown, Georgia, or Taylor, Alabama, you're going to know what potted meat is.
Wadley, Georgia.
Wadley. So anyway, the one in the back seat back there, he was a distinguished gentleman. And these cans of potted meat, they didn't have the pop top cans on. They hadn't been invented yet. The can of potted, it had a key. Some of y'all, I know if you're from Bascom where you don't have to ask them, you know what that potted meat key looked like in that potted meat can. You stuck that key down in there, and you twist it around like that. You twist it around and you take that, the whole top would come off. And that thing would cut you, man, that thing was sharp as a razor. So anyway, he was cruising along there and he had his libation down between his legs like that, and he had some soda crackers. And it was soda cracker with his potted meat, can of potted meat, and you know about there was a little bit of it exposed, the potted meat at the top of the can there, and that could you could daub your soda cracker down in there and get you a scoop and put it in your mouth and have you some sustenance. Riding Tupperwares between his legs, full of ice and libations, and he get just about the time he hit that soda cracker down in there, they hit a railroad track, and potted meat can flipped up like that and flipped down in his drink, in his Tupperware glass that he had just poured him a good strong drink of alcohol. He said he looked at like this, and he said a few words. He said, "Oh hell!" He just took it, stirred it around like that. He drunk his breakfast. He just looked at the hole and just flopped right down into his glass. He just took it, stirred it. But yeah, and he had breakfast, lunch, and dinner right there, and an eye opener all at the same time. That's just one reflection. All that stuff comes to me from time to time, but I thought it was funny. You people probably in up at Martha's Vineyard probably will not understand it. But if you in Bascom, in town, or Taylor, you know exactly. Or yeah, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Hooterville too.
Yeah, it was them.
Oh, all right, boys.
They made it back home. Everybody made it back home. We farmed next year, 1978. Made the crop. Had more money than I ever had in my life. But anyway, that was ancient history. We'll unhold that road.
All right, Queasel, take us home.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all, it's harder and harder to sit here and watch this bunch of Democrats give everything we got away. They giving everything we make away, and if we don't watch it, they're gonna come back and give everything we already made and paid for. They're gonna come take it and give it away. So I'm gonna challenge you. A lot of people don't take voting serious. I'm gonna challenge you to take voting serious. I'm gonna challenge you a step further than that. If you vote Democrat, I still love you. I don't. That's your business. I don't care. But here's what I want to challenge you. Before you go vote, I want you to read in your Bible, and I want you to see what not the old-timey Democrats now, but what today's Democratic Party stands for. I want you to take that and reference that in your Bible and see how biblical it is. Not that the Republicans are a bunch of biblical folks, because they ain't. But then I want you to see what they believe in and kind of compare the two and tell me which one you think would be the most biblically correct, because that's all that's going to matter. I got my opinion on who I like. You got your opinion on who you like. That's what makes life fun. But we forget. We got a book called the Bible that has already predicted every bit of this. And I'm just hoping that the United States is that God is having mercy on us, that He's looking down and He's seeing a few folks praying and a few folks trying to do what's right, and that God's going to spare us and give us some mercy, and that He's going to come back and we're going to build this great nation back to what it needs to be. But the only way we're going to be able to do that is to center it around the Bible and to center it around Jesus. And that's what they want to hear, because they say, well, Jesus says love everybody. Jesus does say love everybody. But Jesus also is a just God. Jesus is going to be the one that is going to hold us accountable for what we do. It ain't all about having fun and just enjoying life. From what I see right now, the Democratic Party thinks the only way to fix something, throw money at it. And if they ain't got no money, they just go create some. They come and rob us and create some and throw it to the folks. And the very people that's going to wind up with it is the people that don't need it. And I'm telling you, we need to wake up. We've had this attitude for so many years that, well, if it don't affect me and my children, I'm just going to stay out of it, and I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. That's why we are where we are now, and it's affecting you and your children, and it's going to affect our children way worse than it's affecting us. You need to remember, what kind of world are we turning over to our children and our grandchildren? What are we giving to them? Folks, it's time we wake up. Now, I love to laugh and joke and cut up and have a good time, but I'm to the point now, I am really, really concerned about where we headed. I really am. And I think Marvin in Florida is exactly right. I think November is the time. We're going to see who wants what. And so I just pray that the godly people will make a stand. I pray that the churches will make a stand, and I pray that we'll all do what Jesus had asked us to do, and that's go out and make disciples of everybody. And if we take his word to them, they ain't going to be able to not vote any other kind of way than the way it is. They're not going to vote that you can do anything to your body you want to do. They're not going to vote that you can a man can do anything, can be a woman and be pregnant. They're not going to do that. They're going to stand up for what's right. It's enough of this crap. It's time for it to be over with, and there's but one way to do it, and that's through Jesus. And that's all I got to say. I love y'all. Thank you for letting me come in tonight. Again, thank all of y'all that's prayed for me, because I'm going to tell you what's changed my attitude. When you lay it up and you can't do nothing to help yourself, it changes your attitude about a whole. You see life in a totally different perspective. Life comes in a different view when you ain't as powerful and is able to do things as you once was, when you totally dependent on somebody else, and when you just can't do anything, it'll make you think about it. Y'all, we in trouble. Please take this serious. Floyd?
Thank you, Cleve. You said it well, man. Better have a hold to it. Better see what's going on. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of what's going on around you. Be aware of what people around you are doing. What kind of trash they throwing out in front of you and children. Just be vigilant. That's all I can tell you. Be vigilant. Be armed, and be ready. Go ahead, Marvin. Take us home.
Guys, thank y'all for joining us tonight. Want to remind you, give a big shout out. Charlie Platt, 67 years old today. Pray he gets to feeling better. Also, don't forget, if you got something going on, send us your photos, your events, whatever news, church news you got going on. You can text it to me at that number. You can email it. We do reserve the right to refuse or modify any and all items that you send to us, but we would like to help you get the word out on our show, Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. Guys, y'all know what tomorrow is. It is the Lord's Day. It is Sunday, and I want to encourage you, if you're where you can go to church tomorrow. I do want to ask all of you out there to be in prayer for a good friend of ours. He watches our show every single week. Mr. Dean King, the fire chief in Donaldsonville, Georgia, will be having a hip replacement surgery next week. And so we want to ask all of you fine folks out there to join us as we pray for our good friend and buddy, Mr. Dean King, as he goes through this hip replacement. Guys, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Our scripture of the week is this: Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Coming from Matthew chapter 5, verse 3. Guys, we love y'all. We love you. We appreciate you. We want you to keep your heads up and keep trusting the Lord. Keep moving forward. Keep loving one another. Keep encouraging one another. Reach out to somebody and let them know you love them this week. And we love y'all and look forward. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise and he don't come again this week, we'll see you again. Same place, same time next Saturday night for Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. And guys, no matter what you do in life, we always encourage you, no matter what you do, always, always, always be particular. Good night, guys.
See y'all.
See you.